Right, well then, Leeds against Cass is going to be the next week, but you're still going to think you're going to win by 2. Championship game of the week. It obviously would have been first versus third, top side to lose against inform Halifax, but given that no one goes to Toulouse, it can't be that. So Whitehaven versus London Sunday at 3 p.m. I think London. It's a long away trip for London, and can they bounce back from a real fucking hammering at home against a Whitehaven side that are doing better than probably expected this year?
I think they're quite close in the table, aren't they? Aren't they? I think they're next to each other. I'm just checking now.
But London are,
yes,
London are a bit above
London
in terms of percentage, but they are like close.
6th and 7th.
Yeah.
I mean, I honestly don't know. If I had to guess, I'd say Whitehaven because it is a long trip. It's a long trip for us. So from London, it's it's an away day, isn't it?
And it's a big turnaround for them to have to pull out after that, absolute hammering, 66-6. Whereas Whitehaven had a solid win against Dewsbury. I think London will probably pinch it, but I don't think it won't be without some stumbles along the way. League One game of the week: North Wales versus Barrow Sunday at 2:30 p.m. So top of the table Barrow go away to an inform North Wales side that, again, like Whitehaven, are probably performing above expectations for this season. Maybe one of Barrow's more testing fixtures. I mean, if they got a boat across, it probably would be quicker than driving all the way around for this one. But...
Have you ever been to Barrow for a match? It's miles away just from even the M6.
Yeah, I know. I know. I've never actually watched a game there.
Nearly there.
The one I was going to go to, it was absolutely pissing it down in a pre-season game, and I thought, I'm not going to set off and it be called off like I had done the year before when I did the same and got to Workington and it was called off.
So we've been a couple of times when we had our 2 seasons in the Championship in the noughties, and it is a great away trip, but it's miles away. But I still think Barrow's going to win.
Yeah, probably. I agree. Yeah. NRL Brit picks. Now try and remember to do the stats on these. Storm versus Raiders Thursday at 10:50 a.m. is there now, so we'll mention them. Dragons versus Panthers Friday at 9 a.m. But I don't think George Burgess is ready to play yet. Broncos versus Roosters Friday 10:55 a.m. Rabbitohs versus Titans Saturday at 6 a.m. I'm sure the trio will do wonders for Alan Walker again. Warriors versus Bulldogs Sunday at 5 a.m. and Sharks versus Knights Sunday at 7:05 a.m. Make sure you get in your fan reviews on all of those games and any other rugby league that you see over the next week. Don't turn up to those women's games that we talked about because only the middle tier ones are happening. But that is our predictions, guesses sorted out for this week. We're going to move now into the wrap up.
Am I allowed to Google the answers for the quiz?
I don't think it's going to help you.
Okay.
Right. Well, we'll start the wrap up for the 314th time with the traditional SLP quiz. Rob, what I've got for you here is players who have played for both Leeds Rhinos and Castleford Tigers. Given that you had Jimmy the Kind Horse popping up against his former club for Cass to score the try, and I thought it'd be a neat quiz to bring to you here. All of them.
They say we might have a problem here, Mark, because once they've played for Leeds Rhinos, they are dead to me. So I just want to say that.
Well, luckily, all of these players played for Leeds before they played for Cass. So.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, as tends to be the way. To be honest.
Okay.
All have played in Super League during the SLP era, so since 2014. But they are all now retired. So, can you guess the players from the clues? Okay. I've tried to make it. You asked for easy. I've tried to make it relatively easy, but we'll see how you get on.
I get 0 in the quiz every week. Dr. Bob gets more points than me in the quiz. But go on.
And he hasn't been to a game for 4 years. Okay, so question 1. Disparagingly known as the cheerleader to some from his time at Wigan, this fullback started his career with Leeds in 2002, playing 89 times for the Rhinos. He joined Castleford after arguably the best spell of his career at Warrington, staying just one season at Cas, playing 23 times. Who is it?
2002 at Leeds. And who else has he played for? Warrington?
Well, in his whole career, Wigan, Warrington, Gold Coast. Did he play for them? He went over there. He played one game, I think. Wakefield and Bradford.
Jesus Christ. The only fullback I can think that played for Leeds, is it Jordan Tansley?
It's not Jordan Tansley. That's a good guess because he has a similar record apart from never played for Wigan. Richie Mathers.
Richie Mathers. Anyway, he played all right for us as well.
Well, he only played 1 year. I don't know what the issue was there. Okay, number 2. Former young offender and drug test dodger, this shithouse prop played over 300 times for Leeds before becoming a journeyman, with one of his stops being at Castleford for a 6-game spell in 2015.
Oh God, I can picture him now starting a fight.
Probably on a halfback.
Jesus, what was his name? Was it Bailey?
That's right, yeah, Ryan Bailey.
Ryan Bailey. Yeah, what a shit house. We liked him because he started fights. We like a good fight.
And then the last one. Probably the most difficult one, but also the most recent. Recently retired New Zealand-born forward, whose last career stop was with Hull Kingston Rovers, but he made the move from Leeds to Cas earlier in his career. He played 2 seasons with Leeds in 2011 and 2012, before 2 seasons at Castleford in 2013 and 2014, before leaving for Salford.
Wella Haraki.
It is Wella Haraki, yes. Well done. Which one helped you get it?
I was just trying to picture the Wembley. I think he played at Wembley in 2014. And he went to Salford, didn't he, when Kukash were going to buy, when he were going to buy the title. So he was, he was picking up. Well, he just picked up a load of players that didn't fit together, didn't he?
That's right. Yeah.
So I think it was Salford that gave it away.
Well, 2 out of 3, Rob.
I know, I'm a bit disappointed. I asked for easy. I was expecting Luke Gale and Paul McShane to be two of the answers.
Paul McShane, I think, is the only player who played for Leeds first, and then he did play for Leeds first. I'm trying to think of any that played for Cas first and Leeds. Luke Gale, I suppose, classes as that, but he also started at Leeds but never played for them, didn't he, when he was a kid? So
I think there was a few back in the last time we were good when we had Raper as the car. I think. Adrian Vowles, I think he went to Leeds, didn't he? And Richie Blackmore went from Cas to Leeds.
Yeah.
So there has been a few over the years.
Jordan Thompson played for Cas first and then played for Leeds, but
McLennan.
Yes.
He started at Cas and went to Leeds.
Yes, but he never played for Cas, did he?
Well, no, obviously he weren't good enough. He was only good enough for Leeds.
Will you be saying the same when he's back at Cas next year?
Well, I'm not sure we're going to side him now. I've got a sneaky position, but I know you don't talk.
No, this is the floor for your rumours because I know you wanted to talk about your former disgraced fullback.
So I heard a very strong rumour that he did in fact meet with Radford on last Tuesday. He went for a coffee with Radford, old Zach Hardacre, and then. I think Matthew Shaw. Who was it? It was that bullshitter from another podcast.
Oh yeah, Mick Gledhill.
Yeah, the game caller. I think he's announced that we've signed Hardacre for next season.
So that's a done deal then. He's staying at Wigan for another 4 years.
Well, he's a bit like it's a bit like Mr. Shaw saying yesterday that Chester was stopping on at Wakefield and then him leaving today. So I don't know. I mean, there were no.
Look, we rely on these people for the reporting, and we just have to respect that.
Exactly.
Sometimes
there were no talk that we've actually signed him, but I'm not. I'd heard a few weeks ago that we'd got him next season, McLennan, but I think Mr. Gale might make an appearance back at Cass now. He's out of favour at Leeds because they've signed Austin and Caesar, haven't they? I can't see him playing third fiddle. So I don't know. I don't know, but I don't think it's
what will be that classed as then? If Baldy Judas returns, what would he be then? Would he be?
Well, obviously he'll be the Messiah again, same as Hardacre.
But are you just throwing that one out there rather than having any sort of ears to the ground on the Gale one? But Hardacre, it's been a rumour on both sides of the fence, hasn't it? So, but I don't know who started it and where it's coming from. But
I think nowadays internet rumours, they start on one forum, and then people pick them up and share them, and before you know it, you've heard it 3 times. But in fact, it's come from the same bullshit first one. Yeah. So I don't know. I'd be quite happy for them both to come back.
It wouldn't shock me, the Hardacre one, because he's moved back to Yorkshire, hasn't he?
Yeah, he's definitely bought a house quite close to Luke Gale as it happens. So so that bit is true, but that don't mean he's signing for Castle City. It just means he's got a kid now and he wants to be close to his family.
Yeah, there's always alarm bells when Zach Hardacre's in Yorkshire from my point of view, not from whether he leaves Wigan aspect, but whether he stays on the straight and narrow.
Yeah, I'll be alright as long as he doesn't drive home.
Anyway, I've got a recommendation this week. It's a food recommendation for anyone who's listening that lives or occasionally visits the northwest. There's a place in Preston called Smoking V's Real Barbecue, which me and Emma went to recently. It's like it says on that sort of American barbecue food. Ribs and brisket and that sort of stuff, wings, that sort of thing. It's brilliant. It's so nice. I would say the brisket's the best I've had at any of those sorts of places. Absolutely fantastic, and everything else couldn't be faulted either. The service was great as well. Actually, I would say that about the staff there were fantastic too. So if you're in Preston ever, I would strongly recommend checking that out for some food. That's my recommendation this week. I think my life's gonna switch away from just watching the Olympics, which might mean I'll have some other recommendations coming up soon too.
Is that what you've been doing?
I've watched so much Olympics, Rob. I'm so behind on podcasts. I'm listening to episodes from 3 weeks ago today because it's been the Olympics and rugby. That's all I've pretty much done for 3 weeks.
It does. If you've got a few in your feed, it don't take long to get them to get out of control, does it?
No, exactly.
Especially if they're like sort of weekly or twice weekly and what have you.
I've basically written off catching up on any rugby league ones or NFL ones, and so it's just kind of ones where it doesn't matter. They're not current ones, like crime ones and that sort of stuff that I'm playing catch up with, really.
So I don't really have a recommendation because all I've been doing is watching rugby, which we've just talked about for an hour or so, and working because we're at that time where it's just it's coming up to Christmas and the Christmas stuff started selling, which means I need to get my finger out my arse and make sure everything that I do have is on there. So I'd just recommend, same as I did last time, go to watch a rugby league game.
I mean, none of your archers or
I do like the archers,
like
yeah. I mean, but I would have thought that everybody that listens to the Super League pod is an avid Archers listener anyway.
There are
some big
no
storylines
awareness
at the
of
moment.
what happens in the Archers.
We've got an affair going on. We've got an alcoholic in there. One of the young lads have just come out as bisexual, and so it's quite an exciting time in Ambridge. So yeah, in fact, I'll recommend the Archers. Get it in your ears. And it's only 13 minutes long.
Is that all?
Yeah.
13 minutes a day?
Four times a week.
Blooming heck. Maybe some of the soaps on telly need to take that approach.
It's the only podcast that I listen to at normal speed. Everything else is listened to at a time and a half.
Fair enough. So people